Hello people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sorin and today we're gonna talk about what are gonna be the best equipment for Onslaught. Considering now in Onslaught you have new modifiers, which your spotting time is gonna be decreased to 3 seconds, and on top of that you're all on your tanks, your dispersion is gonna be dropping by 0.15, which for instance in the mouse you're gonna have 0.34 as base. So in reality it's gonna be 0.19, so you're gonna be really accurate whenever you're gonna fire. So this opens up new, well, doesn't really open up new this, but it only classifies as only one big factor, and that is surviving and doing damage. So for instance on the mouse you're having 3000 hit points as stock. Whenever you go into the battle you're gonna have 25% extra hit points, which means to 3750. But if you go with a hardening you're gonna have 3300 hit points, which means whenever you go up into the battle you're gonna have 4125 hit points, which is just this is 375% more, which means you can withstand artillery shell or another 390 alpha damage gun, which probably will low roll or even 400. On top of that, the improved hardening is not gonna have the same effect, which is only 10%. It's gonna be more like 12.5% of your vehicle's hit points, which is just a big increase in survivability. The more you survive in this mode, the more damage you'll be able to do, the longer we are gonna withstand. And the 7 players, it is really important that you survive and you try to do your best in doing damage. So next module is gonna be the gun rammer. The gun rammer should be mandatory on all vehicles, just because you just want to have better DPM to take down the enemy hit points, and whenever they have 25% more hit points you just need the better DPM to take them out. And last but not least, a turbo general will be really great, because you want to have all the mobility to take key positions. But let's say that there are some vehicles like in instance the IS-4, which doesn't have the best gun handling. Well, you can actually put the vertical stabilizer on tanks that do not get this focus on the target, or which basically drops your, whenever you're using it, it drops your dispersion by 70%, so your aiming circle will be 70% tighter. So let's take a look at the T57 heavy. And do you see any setup on your anything that comes for vertical stabilizer or that? No. Hardening, modify configuration. So whenever I get set on fire, I'm not gonna use my fire extinguisher. Instead I'll have food and combine that with ventilation. I can just keep my DPM up and pumping. Or on top of that you can just have, for instance, let's say the object 430U, which once again gets really bad gun handling whenever it's fighting. I can drop my vertical stabilizer for hardening, and that is what I'm gonna do for the for this mode, because you want to use the mobility, especially for a medium tank. You're gonna use the gun rammer and the hardening to last longer. With the vertical stabilizer, whenever I'm gonna activate my fury mode, I'll be having my better DPM by 35%, and my dispersion is gonna be 45%, which means the reticle is gonna be 45% tighter. So guys, this is pretty much the small video about what equipment you should use on Onslaught. Hopefully it was informative, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you legends around.